Hey guys, so tomorrow is election day in the US, and so I thought that I'd give a bit of perspective on that. I think the common understanding is that Trump will lose the popular vote, but there's still paths that he could win the electoral college as he did in 2016. Even so, his path seems narrow. Based on current polling, as best as we can figure, he would need to win every red state, every leaning red state, and basically every battleground state, including Georgia, North Carolina, Florida, Arizona, and even Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, as of 538's current poll averages, being at 5.1% in favor of Biden. So he has some ground to make up. And early polling has seemed to go in favor of Biden. So what he needs to do is have a huge amount of votes in his favor before the end of the election. And this is a problem for Trump because he's sown a lot of doubt in voting by mail, and those are votes that obviously haven't been counted yet, at least in many places. So he has to have this huge ground game of in-person support if Trump is to have any chance of winning even an electoral victory. And that leads us to a problem because he could do this. He could absolutely get the votes. But as said, his path seems very narrow. He would have to win all of the states mentioned without any losses, as well as, of course, all of the regular red states. And there are other states like Wisconsin or Nevada, which I guess he could win, but those are even lower chances than him winning Pennsylvania. It's possible, but unlikely. So if he goes out tomorrow, November 3rd, and we see a big red shift, lots of Republicans come out and vote, and he wins the election. Okay, he wins. Well, maybe. Because there's still all of those mail-in ballots that still need to be counted. And as said, the issue is that those mail-in ballots, most people are projecting are going to favor Biden. So we could see a so-called Red Mirage, where on election day, November 3rd, Trump seems to win, and I would expect if that happens, Trump will make a victory speech. It is usual basic politics. But we can't say for sure that he wins until every ballot has been counted. And in Pennsylvania in particular, that last state which currently favors Biden more than all of those other swing states, they're not allowed to count ballots until day of election, November 3rd. Maybe better would be to look at Florida, which has already started counting their ballots, because that at least gives an idea. And if Biden wins Florida, game over, Trump loses. But if there's enough ballots day of that are cast for Trump, he seems to be winning, and we get to Pennsylvania, and he wins the vote in Pennsylvania based on day of in-person voting. Does he win? Well, once again, maybe not. But what happens if he declares victory? And those mail-in ballots, they count if they count. But I would expect that Trump, having declared victory, who is still president until January 20th, is going to challenge votes that he doesn't like. There will be lawsuits, and in all likelihood, those lawsuits are going to make their way to the Supreme Court, which, as of recently, tends to favor Trump over Biden. And then we might see, despite Biden having the counts based on mail-in ballots, many of those ballots dismissed, deemed fraud, or more likely, honestly, just considered not to be valid based on a missing signature or incorrect packaging or what have you, mail-in ballot rules. And if those ballots are considered void, then we give Trump the victory after all, despite Biden potentially having more electoral votes based on total votes cast, including those mail-in ballots, or maybe not, based on a Supreme Court decision, which is contested. It's a really scary scenario. Anyone could have predicted that it's possible. I hope it doesn't happen. It doesn't seem likely, but it seems to me to be one of the more likely venues that Trump could win, given that, once again, he would have to have major victories in many states where he is not favored and only squeak by through electoral math, almost certainly not by actual popular vote election. And if it happens, I don't know what's going to happen with the U.S. That's some scary stuff because I think that people will not accept those results. But I don't think either that the Republican Party or Trump himself are going to willingly step down if they have any venue to say that they officially won. And then the U.S. becomes a powder keg, and we hope for a peaceful resolution one way or the other. Scary stuff. Elections coming up tomorrow. Make sure you vote if you haven't already and you live in the United States. And here we go. If you enjoyed the video, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, see ya.